live here.
All right, you want to go? 1, 2, 3. Solid. That was a solid one.
Welcome
good girls.
Welcome to the hurricane version.
Hurricane, yeah, we're live from Hurricane Ian right now.
Yeah, Hurricane
In
Ian.
Florida.
Oh.
We're in South Florida.
No, but people did lose their homes.
Yeah, people. It is pretty. Yeah,
guys, hurricanes are no joke.
Yeah. Listen, we're good, but some people are not.
Yeah.
Well, you should not be a West Coast Floridian. That's trash.
Honestly, dude, I think West Coast Floridians are better than East Coast Floridians. As far as the people who move there, here's what somebody told me. People from the Midwest move to the West Coast of Florida. People from the Northeast move here, and people from the Northeast are trash.
Yeah. I think that's 100% correct.
We have Palm Beach Island, Miami, the Keys.
No, I think it's more fun over here. Have you been to Tampa? Super nice. It was at least. It got destroyed last night.
Yeah,
but,
now it's a fucking parking lot. It was
nice. Yeah, now it's a fucking parking lot. Okay.
Renew, reuse, recycle.
Yeah. Wait, what?
He said that joke before.
Bill Nye.
When you described Hiroshima.
Oh, he said now it's a fucking parking lot.
Great joke for the record.
It did sound familiar, but
great joke for the record. I'm not trying to call you out. It's a funny thing to say.
Look, I do the same fucking 25 minutes every week.
Right? You're gonna get some repeats.
All we do is repeat jokes.
Yeah.
We're fucking comics.
Yeah.
That's also what happens when you don't plan what you're gonna say on a podcast.
Of course. Yeah, we just
you know what's hilarious? A legit thought that I had the other day. I'm listening to Rogan, which I very rarely do, but if he has somebody on, and I've heard Rogan tell the same 100 stories a million times about different stuff, and I was like, I literally had the thought when I was listening to it, I was like, see, he does it.
Yeah, you guys are on the same.
He's also done like 80,000.
Yeah, he does 5 a day or something.
He's literally got like 2,000 episodes.
I can listen to Rogan up until he's like, that's kind of like when Marikawi fought this guy, and you're like, fuck, man, shut the fuck up about fighting. Dude, he'll be talking to like Dave Chappelle or like a scientist, and he'll just somehow work in UFC, and I'm like, shut up about fucking
what he
fighting.
likes, dude. Is that how we should do this pod? Just talk shit on Rogan?
Fuck you, Joe Rogan.
I hate when people use last names. This is a fun thing.
Well, that's how they
Rogan,
refer to Rogan.
That's
how people talk about
Rogan.
I
just don't. It's like I hate when people say like.
What do you want me to call him, Joe?
Joe Rogan. I'm a full name type of guy. If we're talking about somebody who are not on.
Old Joey.
Old Joey.
That would be crazy if I called him Joe.
I call him Big J.
Big J.
You and
call him Big J.
Yeah, we just call him. Yeah.
And we call Big J Okie because we know Big J Okerson. Obviously.
So I got fired today.
So
you think the hurricane's bad?
Yeah, you think the hurricane's bad.
I lost my position at a cushy advertising agency.
Damn, son.
Jeff is now with Matt and I full-time losers.
Free agents, baby.
Yeah, we're free agents. We're
on the market.
We're on the prowl.
Not looking to get picked up. I
don't know. Fuck getting a normal job.
If you're going to DM me with a job opportunity, shove it up your fucking ass.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was going to happen to begin with, though.
No, I like that. I like that. I like him having that much veracity about something that wasn't even going to happen.
Nobody's going to be like, oh, Jeff doesn't have a job.
Oh, shit, dude.
On the very slim
chance
taco
shop?
The bald racist guy from this podcast piqued your interest.
Jeff's not racist.
I'm ironically racist. It's irony.
Did I send you that TikTok?
You sent me the TikTok.
After.
It was funny.
It was, yeah.
Oh, what do you guys share each other videos? You don't share them?
Jeff sends me this video of a man with Down syndrome who just farts, and that's the whole. That's
the
only
awesome.
thing.
He rocks.
You showed us that
awesome.
Guy on the way to New Orleans.
He rules.
He's the funniest.
What's his name again?
It's like Kyle Guy 124892 some shit.
Just rips him.
And then laughs his ass off. He rocks.
There's another TikTok creator that I'm really a big fan of. That he's a man with Down syndrome, and all he does is trash football teams when they lose. Have you seen this?
No.
Like a team will get blown out, and he'll be like,
Carolina Panthers.
What happened?
What happened?
He just goes,
how you lose to Cincinnati Bengals?
I wouldn't have done the voice, but
so I would like to point out that isn't a generic impersonation. That is a direct impersonation. It's his best attempt to actually impersonate a real human being.
I thought that I was sitting next to him for a second.
Yeah.
It was very.
I mean,
We
it's
look
got-
alike.
Got the look. Yeah.
We look alike. I swear to God, if the Dolphins lose tonight,
Dude,
and I go on TikTok and he's just like, Miami Dolphins, what happened? I'm like, God.
After
damn.
you lost, dude, imagine losing your job and then your team loses, and then you go on TikTok and that's the first video you see.
Oh, I'd
You-
freak out.
You're driving into a fucking tree at that point, dude. You're full speed.
I would
90 miles an
verbally
hour.
assault every person who bags my groceries for the rest of my life if that happened. Oh, take it out on the rest of them.
Fucking, oh man.
There-
I didn't get it at first.
There's
I thought you were just talking about being mean to people. Then
No.
A specific type of
You've been to
people.
the Publix. I never had that experience. I would hear people say stuff about how Publix hires people with disabilities.
they used to.
Well, I tell you what, the Publix by my house solely hires people with disability. I mean, it's everybody there.
a lot of people get bit in the.
No. Okay, all right, guys.
Well,
I was
just
trying to
so
be nice
anybody
about it.
knows, like the reason your grocery store hires Down syndrome
It's a
bag
tax
boys
write-off.
is that they can legally pay them under minimum wage.
No.
So yes, you can pay them like $4.25 an hour.
No, how does that
And
work?
then you give them
Yep.
stickers
because
instead.
They can't.
their
be.
pay
That's
is
so
subsidized
fucked.
by the government. So the only reason, if you see that and you're like, God, Publix is a good
So-
company,
so-
they're not.
So Publix, wait. So the pay is subsidized, which means that Publix only has to come out of pocket $4, but the government covers the rest to cover minimum wage.
The government covers like the other $3. Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of fucked up. I also heard that
Now
whenever
who's-
they ask you to, I'm gonna say it. Whenever they ask you if you want to donate to whatever organization, they've already made the donation. That money is actually to go back into their profits or their company. So
They
if
can
they
write
say,
that money off twice,
Right.
and they use that food on their own inventory at retail price. It's
See,
bullshit.
so basically, if anybody ever asks you, do you want to donate $1 to kids with cancer? Say, fuck those kids. Don't do it. They've already made that donation.
Yes.
Steal from Publix.
Yeah, steal from Publix.
Yeah, the way it works is you donate $1, and then Publix writes that dollar off when they give it to a charity, but they own the charity. So then the charity uses that dollar at Publix to buy food at retail price. They don't get a discount, nothing.
Yeah, I don't.
So Publix just basically gets to write off tax money and gets to move extra inventory for free.
Sounds like somebody works for the cartel, and they're the fucking Publix. Dude.
Yeah, that's
They're
a real-
It's money laundering.
That's a real Tony Soprano scam, right
yeah,
there.
dude. That's a crazy. That sounds like money laundering. I don't
never
know.
watched The Sopranos.
You've never watched The Sopranos? It's a great,
Nah.
great show. What
It's a
about
great
Ozark?
show.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's basically it's Ozark but better.
So different. It's not
think
even
it's
close
similar.
to the same thing.
I think
not
it's
even
similar
close.
enough.
Not even close.
You're following cartel. You're following the
Ozark's
mobsters.
like intense all the time. Like it's tense. Sopranos is like
I
it
think
can be tense, but it's
Sopranos
also
is
very
wildly
funny.
You can't even watch Ozarks if you have a fucking anxiety disorder, man.
Yeah,
you should know
it's-
this.
it's insane.
It's fucking stressful.
Dude, The Sopranos made me have
A psychotic break.
literally. I was in the middle of a psychotic break when I was watching the when I was
Polly
finishing the
talks
series.
to the ghosts.
Yeah, that's such a good scene, dude.
That's the best scene.
That's such a dude. That
this
show
is black magic. Sick shit.
He
That's
fucking
just so
takes
good,
a chair
man.
and tries to throw it at a ghost. That's so
He's
funny.
like, you know what this is, you bunch of fucking queers. That shit's so good, man.
It's funny
The Sopranos
to
rocks.
yeah, it is funny to call people who are at like grieving at a psychic to try to like get answers queers because they're like trying to do black magic.
And then Tony refers to them as Ghostbusters, which
Yeah.
is very funny to me.
It's so funny.
God, that show's great.
I want to talk about getting fired now, dude. I want to hear how did they break the news? That's the fun one.
Oh
to ask.
well, if you work at an office job, you know the signs, which is you're locked out of everything. So you get a Slack DM from your boss, or just like company wide, which is bullshit. Company wide message that's basically like, hey everybody, I need to do a security check, so I need everybody's passwords on their computer. They're just looking for one person's passwords, the person they're firing, and then you go in to work and like you're logged out of everything. And like Google will tell you how long ago the passwords have changed. So like if you have like a Gmail account, which like, you know, I worked in marketing. So like Google Analytics, Google AdWords, all that stuff is all tied to a Gmail account. And in the morning I typed in the password and it's like, your password changed an hour ago. and you're like, oh, I know what this is. You're changing all the passwords to fire me.
Damn.
So I knew in the first like 5 minutes, I was like, I'm getting fired today. And then like 45 minutes later, my boss was like, can I speak to you in my office? And I was like, I sat down and I was like, I know where this is going, by the way.
So I'm so curious now because you came in, you were all logged out of everything, and then it was 45 minutes later. What did you do for those 45 minutes?
I was DMing our good friend Danny Fallon.
Just going back and forth with
Yeah,
Danny?
because you couldn't do the show that we're on.
Yes.
So him and I were just DMing about who should host it. And that was...
Who'd you guys come to a conclusion?
I think we have Lando, but...
Dude, Lando, we love Lando Gonzalez.
Lando Gonzalez, dude.
But I was just DMing Danny about that because I knew
That's
what was coming. I'm
hilarious.
like, I'm not going to try to get work done. I
Yeah.
know
Yeah,
what's
dude.
coming.
They did oh my God. I had a very similar situation. They just deleted my Google account though, which was crazy to me because I had so much. So this company that if you're a military, I'm not going to name the name, but if you're a military member who listens to this, you're going to know what company I'm talking about. It's one of the only streaming companies.
Can I say it?
No.
Oh, I already know
And
what it
so
is. DM me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, and so
I'll tell you too.
I think I'm still under contract, so I can't legally say the exact name.
But me and Jeff
NDAs.
can, and we will.
But anyway, so
NDAs? What are you working for fucking Beyonce?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, you sign that shit when you're doing. Anyway, so I freelanced. I was doing freelance script writing with them when I was still in college, and then they were like, "Hey, you should come out here and move out here from Denver to San Diego." And I was like, "Sweet, this is like a dream job, comedy writing. That's sick as hell,
Yeah, of course.
And so I was like, absolutely, whatever. Didn't even have a backup plan. I was like, I've worked with them for 2 years throughout college. I go out there, move to California, spend $10,000 on the move, work for them for 6 months, get a bonus.
You had $10,000 to spend?
Well, I was
Military, baby.
military, baby.
Fuck,
I
dude.
don't have that 10,000 anymore.
Fuck, what's that like?
And so then
God.
I spend $10,000 to move there, and some of it's on credit cards, and
Yeah.
spend $10,000 to move there. Then work for them for 6 months, get a bonus. They gave me a bonus, gave me a big check for doing really great the last quarter. Then the day of Thanksgiving. So the week of Thanksgiving, they they call me. They invite me to this private. They're doing a private, we're doing a private.
You tell stories like
Thanksgiving.
a woman.
I
Hurry
know.
up.
So we're doing. Fuck you, Jeff. We're doing a private. I didn't like that at all, actually.
Jeff did also spend like 30 seconds describing Gmail accounts.
Yeah,
in
and he
Google
goes, "You tell
Analytics."
stories like a woman."
Hey, let's not talk about women
He's
like that.
describing a fucking Gmail account login process. So it's the week of Thanksgiving, and they invite us. The owner invites us to his new beach home in La Jolla. He just spent a couple mil on this new beach home in La Jolla the
Hell
night,
yeah.
and then it's a Thanksgiving party.
Just to flex on you real
Just
quick.
to flex.
Nothing like a boss who's
Nice.
about to lay you off flexing how
Yep.
good he's doing.
Just buys a beach house in La Jolla, probably $5 million. We have Thanksgiving dinner. I bring them pumpkin pie, and then the next day I get laid off.
You are a woman, bro.
You should have
The
called.
next day,
He's chewing a piece of pumpkin pie. Where he's like, "Yeah, hey Josh,
go ahead.
go ahead and pack
clock
your
out
shit
for me."
Yeah, go ahead and
Crazy,
log
dude.
out for
Dude,
me.
I brought them fucking pumpkin pie.
Dude,
Pie, and they laid me off.
Speaking of a boss doing, so
I bought it from Publix.
Did you
to
call
be
him? Did you call him back and be like, "I want my pie back"?
fair. Yeah, you better fucking regurgitate
So
that shit,
just
son.
before the pod started, I already told you guys the story about me getting laid off from the treatment center I worked at, where I had to lay everybody off, and then the next 2 days later they laid me off. The guy who owned that, the biggest fucking scumbag, I think it was Jeff Tucci or something like that. I fucking
Stanley Tucci's brother.
definitely not Stanley Tucci's brother. Who's Stanley
Oh.
Tucci?
He's an actor.
I think I know that name. Anyways,
You've seen him.
he would come into this place where he was paying me $11 an hour. And like I said earlier, I had to talk them up from 10 to get to 11, right?
Got money like that.
Listen, dude, he would drive up in his Maserati, which, by the way, if you drive a Maserati, you want to be something you're not. Maseratis aren't actually that good of cars. If you could afford a real, I know Stanley Tucci, definitely not related. If you could afford a real luxury vehicle, you wouldn't buy a Maserati. They're made like shit, and you're a scumbag. Anyways,
My aunt drives a Maserati.
The one that
The
never
dumb
mind,
bitch
never
that we
mind. No, but
no, she's
so
a lovely woman.
she is great.
kinda hot.
I love her.
Yeah, she's
And
hot.
so she
Both of you relax.
She so he would drive up in his Maserati. I remember one day there was this kid who got there. He took a Greyhound for 16 hours to get to the treatment center. He got there in a dirty wife beater. He's sweating. He's in the middle of detoxing, which we're not even really allowed to do. So you're supposed to medically detox before you come there. He feels like shit. We have to collect rent every week. He gets there. He's been there for 2 hours. Jeff pulls up in his Maserati in his suit, walks into our office, brags about how he has a $2,000 suit on, which is just a real good way to know how cool somebody is, you know?
Sick.
He's paying us $11 an hour, won't even let me be a W-2 employee so he doesn't have to give me benefits, and brags about his suit, walks out, sees this kid, within 30 seconds is asking the kid if he's going to have rent by the end of the week. And I was
He's a
like,
cool
dude,
guy.
there's a special place in hell for people like that, and it's full of Maseratis and $2,000 suits.
Yeah.
You fucking piece of
Anybody who
shit.
has, dude, you can buy a suit from Express for like $350.
Yeah, there's
What
no
the
need
fuck
to
are you
spend
buying
that much.
$2,000 suits
Because
for?
he wants to be something, and he would always tell the story about how when he first got sober, he would ride his bike in the rain to his serving job at Flanagan's. And I'm like, it didn't rain every day, dude. Sometimes it was sunny.
Every time I was on the clock, rain.
Rain. Yeah,
Rain.
it's like the old like. I used to walk uphill in the snow both ways
In the
And it's
summer?
Like, oh, that's just not how geography works. That's not
Yeah.
how a plane exists.
I like kind of quit / got fired from Cracker Barrel. So I fucking.
I don't know why that's funny. That statement in itself is
Yeah.
hilarious.
It's a good
to
state.
me.
Yeah.
Well, I like to maintain my pride.
Yeah.
Look, I was great at Cracker Barrel. I was whipping them eggs. I could do the little stick game every time. Great, best employee you can have.
Ooh, that game's hard.
I used to do it. I could do it one pin every fucking time. I knew the trick. But I went in there one day and I was like 5 minutes late. And I just got accepted to college. I was going to Jacksonville to go to school. And I was about to leave
Congrats.
in 2 weeks to go to school. So my boss calls me in and they had a guy in from corporate in my boss's office. And he was just like trying to show off to the corporate guy, like, watch how I discipline my employees. So he calls me in and he's like, you were 5 minutes late. And I was like, yeah, my bad. Sorry about that. Traffic, whatever. And he was like, no, let me ask you something. Do you enjoy working here? And knowing that I was going to go off to college in 2 weeks anyways, I was like, honestly, no. And he was like, then you don't work here anymore. And I was like, sick. And then I walked out. And then I laughed all the way home. It was so funny.
There's nothing better than quitting a job like on your terms. Like when you go in there and you're like, fuck you, dude.
I've never done that.
I had it happen to me when I was this is like a very gay story. It's embarrassing to think back to, but
Weird thing to call gay, but keep going.
well, I was blowing 4 dudes at the no.
Yeah, it was a gay story then. Okay, keep
No,
going.
so I was.
You told your pimp you're not
Yeah.
sucking
Yeah, I
dick
was like,
anymore.
yeah, yeah.
This is a pretty gay story.
This is a woman's
about-
story, by the
this
way. I
is
was
a
blowing
pretty.
for-
This is a pretty gay story about how I quit my last job. So I went into my
just
boss's office. I immediately start gagging on his dick.
It's like
I
very,
said, Maurice,
Yeah.
I'm done.
I
Yeah.
listen. It's one of those ones where I look. It's one of those stories where I look back and have like secondhand embarrassment for myself when I'm like, oh, like why did I do? I guess it'd be firsthand. But anyways, I just got out of the military and I started working at the Buckle, which I've mentioned before. And I was trying to sell people jeans. Didn't have great time doing that. And I told them, hey, I'm able to work anytime. Like I wasn't. School didn't start for another like 4 months for me. So I was like 4 months off. I just want every other weekend off because I want to go to where my girlfriend at the time was living in a different city. So I was like, I'm just gonna go there. Every other weekend off. They schedule me 2 weekends back to back. And I was like, hey, not a big deal, but just so you know, for the future, I can't do this. Like, I'm going to be out of town. And the manager goes, well, maybe if you learn a thing or two about leading people, you'll understand that you can't just give everybody what they want. And I was like just out of the military, like used to be in charge of like an entire platoon at certain times. Like I had like a whole vehicle to myself. And I was like, what the fuck do you just think you said to me, bitch? And
You
then
made
I
him drop down and give you 20?
Yeah, I was like, I just went off. I was
just
like,
shot her.
I was like, it was embarrassing because I brought like it's the only time I think I've ever used my military service is like as like a defense
This
in an
feels
argument.
fair because a dumb cunt who manages a fucking buckle
Telling me I don't know
telling
anything.
somebody who's like literally ran a platoon of fucking soldiers.
Yeah,
that,
I was like,
hey, maybe if you learned a thing or two about scheduling 17-year-olds who work at
Yeah.
Buckle, you would understand
and I,
something.
dude, I lost.
Shut up, you cunt.
I lost my fucking mind. I was like, what the I was like, what do you think you know about leading people? I was like, you're 21. You shouldn't even be talking to me in this way. Like, I lost my mind. I was like, I've done things you couldn't even imagine.
I've seen things you would never
Do you
believe.
know what it's like to
Just
be in
nev-
Japan and your Wi-Fi goes down?
Yeah, just never been.
Inhale through your nose. How does that air smell? Like freedom? You're welcome,
You're
bitch.
welcome, bitch.
All right, this week's episode of Triple F is brought to you by FieldSeats.com. Field Seats is an e-commerce website where they review firearms. So the deal with Field Seats is you pay for the review. There's different scales. Some start at 25, some go up to 60. They review guns, and then at the end, you get the opportunity. It's about 1 in 35 to win the gun that they're reviewing. You could get a free firearm for watching this review. So make sure you check that out. That's fieldseats.com. Use the promo code FFF. You'll receive 10% off of the review that you're purchasing. Again, that is fieldseats.com. Promo code FFF.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, what's more American than winning a fucking firearm, bro?
Support the boys. They're a veteran-owned company.
Veteran-owned company. You could win a Glock. You could win a Galil.
A Galil, dude. The Call of Duty weapon.
If you've ever played Call of Duty, it could be real life. I mean, you don't have to go to war, but you could be ready for it. And all you have to do is go to fieldseats.com and use the promo code FFF.
Are you ready for the impending civil war? If not, go to fieldseats.com, use promo code FFF, and get 10% off the safety of your family.
Put her in a chokehold.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
just
had
never
a-
been in combat once. Just
Yeah,
saying
just
all
in
the
my
things.
mind. You know what I've done.
I worked at the movie theater, and I worked at the movie theater at the time of like the Dark Knight shooting.
Oh,
So
fuck, I forgot that
we
that happened.
talked about that.
Great
like, my
movie.
coworkers, yeah,
Great
That would,
shooting.
that would really ruin it, though, wouldn't it?
top 10, honestly.
That is such a
Top
bummer.
10.
Top
huh?
10 movie
Top
and shooting.
and shooting, yeah.
But
One of the goats.
one of the goats.
Not
But
even close.
that happened like as I was working at the movie theater. I was like in high school, and I remember my boss being like, what would happen if somebody like did that here? And my boss, who is a best way to describe her, 40-year-old obese dyke. She said that she was like, I'd stop it. And I was like, how?
It's like speaking of our favorite actor,
Mark
Wahlberg.
You're like,
You remember when you said
9/11
that?
happened.
He
I
said
would've-
if he was on the plane, he would have stopped it.
Yeah, it's like, no, you wouldn't. She
I
was
believe
like,
Mark
What the
Wahlberg
fuck are you
more.
doing here?
Yeah.
oh, this one, dude, I was like a
would have stopped
chubby 16-year-old with acne who was like, I'd rock your shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah.
are you
I
talking
would have stopped
about?
it. It's like, oh, you mean because nobody behind you could get shot because you would
Yeah,
eclipse
yeah,
them with your
yeah.
massive lesbian body?
You'd be
You'd
a,
absorb.
you wouldn't even be a human shield. You'd be a human Great Wall of China.
The bullets would hit her and just like shoot
Yeah.
back at him. He would get one shot off. It would ricochet out of her fucking fat.
Straight back.
Straight back,
That'd be
man.
fucking- like a cartoon. It goes all the way into her belly and then shoots directly
Yes,
back.
exactly.
At
Yeah, like a Batman villain.
Exactly.
She would be a Batman villain.
She looked like Penguin.
Yeah, she is the penguin. She actually looked a lot like
I
the
used-
penguin, like a bow-legged fat bitch. But she told me that she could.
Yeah, fuck this double.
She told me that she could disassemble a gun, and I was like, while someone's pointing it at you, she's like, when someone pulls it, God, this bitch was so what a fucking retard. She's like, when someone's pointing a gun at you, they have to make a decision. They don't want to kill somebody. I'm like, no, they're doing a shooting. They're not robbing a
Listen,
movie
wa-
theater.
I'm
No,
pretty
they
sure.
want to shoot you.
I'm
They're
pretty
there.
sure if there's anything this guy wanted, it was to shoot people, and boy, did he succeed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
he's
this isn't
great.
a robbery, we have like $300 in cash. Period in a movie theater. Like,
Yeah.
you're never gonna rob a movie theater and get much. If someone pulls out a gun in a movie theater, they're going Dark Knight.
You go to
They're
you,
going full Joker mode.
Yeah.
You go to rob a movie theater. You're like, give me 2 tickets to. You go and sit and watch the whole film.
Give me 2 tickets to the Lego movie now.
Yeah.
and a box of snow caps.
Snow caps.
But yeah, and I just remember being like, yeah, you wouldn't do that. For sure, you wouldn't do that. And then she like hated me and slowly like ostracized me, and I quit. But fuck that bitch.
Dude,
She got mad at me because, like, dude, I would sit. I worked concession, and my dumb fat ass would sit next to the popcorn machine, which is hot as fuck, and I would just sit there for 4 hours sweating. And
Sweating butter.
Dude, that thing's so hot, and it's open all the time, so it's just heat just blowing on the back of your neck. So if you filled up a cup with drink,
Delicious
any sort of drink, like she would want you to go to the water fountain, but I can't leave my station. So, like, I have to use the soda machine. I can't walk to the... She's like, I have to charge you for that. I was like, no, you don't. You don't have to charge me for this. Just fucking relax.
Out of your fucking mind.
Dude, have you ever noticed when you, like, use a soda machine at the beginning?
There's, like, a little bit of pre-cum?
It's like a little bit of pre-cum, pre-coke.
Like, there's no color.
Dude,
you see Jeff's face? He hates
He
that.
hates that.
That's a great bit.
It's
you
a
should
good
take
bit.
it on stage. One of my favorite jobs that I worked at was Nordstrom.
Ooh, fancy.
I worked at Nordstrom.
Okay, so Nordstrom's or Nordstrom's Rack?
Nordstrom.
Okay, because those are different.
Don't ever disrespect me with the rack.
Sorry,
bro.
dude. It's like people will be like, I went shopping at Saks Fifth. And I'm like, you mean off Saks Fifth, which is basically a Ross and a Saks Fifth combined?
Yeah. It's all
don't get
Nordstrom
any of
Rack
these.
is like once the clearance section hasn't
you're poor.
moved in a month, a guy comes in and he packs it all up.
Mm-hmm.
But while I was working there, dude, I made so much money because Scripps came into town. Do you know what Scripps is? Scripps is like a big like.
I'm familiar with Scripps, but I don't think it's different.
It's different from yours. Actually,
Yeah.
maybe not. They're a big like pharmaceutical biomed company.
Oh,
But they
different.
came.
Same, but different.
They opened up like a headquarters where the Nordstrom I worked at was. So it was just like they just bust in dorky Indian dudes who were making crazy money for the first time. So they would just come into Nordstrom and they'd be like, I have a lot of money. I'm tired of looking like a dork. I'm spending hella cash. And my whole job was just being like, yeah, bro, bedazzled jeans on you.
Yeah,
Tight.
yeah.
That's so sick.
So you're the reason they're all dressed like that.
Mhm.
You ever walk into a...
If you ever get an Uber and the guy's dressed like a complete dickhead, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
I had a guy pick me up in the Minneapolis airport one time, and he opened up his center console and just had shooters. And he was picking me up from the airport to go to my cousin's house. He just had a bunch of little shooters with him, and then he was like, "You want one of these?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course, you know." And then him and I both did one together, and I was like, "This is crazy." And then he was like, "He was like, you're the third customer I've had today that did one of these," and then he was like, "Woo!" And I was like, "This is insane, dude."
What if he was like, dude, you're like the 10th customer. He's done that.
You're like the 10th.
Yeah, he just vomits into his seat.
He's like, both of you are my 10th customer. You're like, there's one of us back here. He's like, oh shit, my vision's
he's
gone.
like he's like fully talking to you, like looking the wrong way, the other way. That's funny, dude. Looking the wrong instead of looking back this way, he's like, "What's going on?"
Looking out the window.
Yeah, he's looking out the window to see back to you.
Dude, it's so funny because you've driven Lyft. I
Yeah.
drove Lyft for a while, and it was just like, I don't have any crazy Lyft stories. All my Lyft stories were just like drunk couples fighting in my backseat.
People always expect me to have them, and I don't. I did have one. I had one, but it was same thing. It was a couple fighting. I picked this, so I go to pick these people up. The name on it. By the way, you don't have to put your legal name, which kind of is sketchy to me.
Yeah.
This name literally came up as Young Bands, and the S at the end of bands was a $.
Nice.
Yes, and I'm picking
Tight.
them up at Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, this is gonna be great.
That's
So
that's where all the realists hang out.
that's where all the. So I pick up this guy, his girl, and their baby, and they're screaming at each other in the middle of the Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, and I'm like, please don't be Young Bands. And
Did he look like a Young Bands?
it looked like Young Bands to me. and so I feel him in the back he's slamming the stroller on the ground trying to get it shut. The baby's not in it. And he throws it into my trunk, which I'm like, whatever, I'm not going to confront this man right now. They get in, baby is
Young Band's got young hands.
Yeah.
He's got the heater on him.
Yeah, the baby is loose in the back seat. And just in the middle, they're just kind of like
You hit a hard left, the baby's like, what?
they're just kind of letting this baby really strengthen its core while I'm making turns. You
Nice.
know?
Yeah.
And we go to 7-Eleven that's like a mile down the street. I'm like, thank God.
They went from Dunkin' Donuts to 7-Eleven?
That's what my thought was, but I was also like, great, because in the back, they're screaming at each other, arguing. And she's laughing, and it's like, ha ha, you mad, which is making me mad, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm like, don't talk to my fucking boy like that, dude.
How dare you talk to young bands?
Young bands deserves more respect than that. And
what if you were like, you going to take that from her, bro?
Yeah. Dude, it got worse. So we get to the 7-Eleven. I'm like, thank God this is where. And then the woman goes, I just got to go put more money on my card, and then we're going to change the destination. And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Goes in. 2 seconds later, after she walks out, the destination changes. 55-minute ride.
Oh.
Woo, boy, let me tell you what. It was not good. And so they're screaming in the back. The baby is loose in the back seat. I'm on I-95 going 85 miles an hour. There's an infant not buckled in the back. Probably shouldn't have done it. I didn't really know what the protocol was at this point. And they are screaming at each other. She's like, why don't you just hit me again then? Huh? Why don't you just hit me like you did last time? And he's like, bitch, you're fucking I never lay my fucking hands on you, but I'm about to. Like, just like really going at it.
Having a cool time.
And it goes from that to, I'm not kidding, 1 minute later, all three of them are asleep in the backseat of my car. All three of them just out. And then like 20 more minutes goes by. The girl wakes up. I'm listening to a podcast. And by the end of the ride, the last like 20 minutes of the ride is me and the girl laughing at the podcast together.
What podcast was it?
And she's like, these motherfuckers are funny. It was Taste Buds with Sal Volcano.
Oh, nice.
It was funny. He was like, they just argue about food. I'm like, that's the whole thing. And she's like, I like this. Sounds like the guy from Impractical Jokers. I was like, it is. And then I dropped them off at exactly where you think I dropped them off. I'm not kidding, dude. I dropped them off, and there's another car next to me, not on. One of the wheels was missing. A fucking child in the back seat of the car, sweating his ass off. Windows were down. Just nobody around. Just playing in the back seat of this abandoned Ford Taurus.
That's free daycare.
Yeah, no, they were like, go play in the Taurus. We'll be back in a couple hours.
That's a good move. I never had
that was the wildest one.
The
by
fights that I had, were just like drunk white couples. Like, why would you even talk to her then? And then the guy being like, she talked to me. What am I supposed to say? Fuck you to her? Yeah, we're together. You know, like that. Yeah. I did have an African dude get in my car and then get on the phone. I did this on stage once, but he got on the phone and he was talking to somebody and he was just like, brother, let me tell you, white pussy tastes like water. And I was like, fuck yeah, bro. It took everything in me to not be like, let's go, dude. He's like, it has no taste at all. It tastes like water. And I was just like, fuck yeah, dog.
Dude, that's so good.
Like, that rocks, bro.
Yeah.
I also noticed that a lot of women, if you ever drive Uber or Lyft and the picture is like a very hot black stripper, that's not who you're picking up. Mm-mm. You're picking up a very crazy woman.
Yeah.
Every single time.
That's happened to me a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, where you get it and it's like, or it's like Ebony and she's like a super hot black lady and then you pick her up and you're like, whoa,
or
fuck.
I would get, there was more than once where it was like an older white guy. And then when I would pick the person up, of like young black chick, this happened multiple times. I'm not just saying black. I'm just saying like literally the 3 times it happened, it was young black women who were dressed like prostitutes because they were. And it was the
that's probably who's
white
calling
guy.
the Uber.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
it's part of the package deal.
I would just be like, Ernest? She'd be like, yeah, that's me.
She's like, it's,
right.
it's Ernie.
Yeah, it's Ernie. Yeah, it was wild. Driving Lyft is like not fun. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not the greatest. Sometimes you just get cool ass people. Sometimes, dude, my biggest pet peeve, honestly, was like you'd pick somebody up and before they get in your car, just the look of them, you're like, you're gonna fucking smell like cigarettes. Yep. And then they do. You'd get somebody who just reeks, or you get somebody who flags your car down with a cigarette in their fingers, and then they just take one last puff and flick it and get in. It's like,
I had a lady
damn it, dude.
who literally, as she walked out of her door, had a cigarette in her mouth, and 3 cats ran out of the door while she was opening it. And when she got in my car, she smelled like a litter box and a cigarette, to the point where the next person who got in my car was like, can I smoke in here? And I was like, no. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry. It just smells like you smoke in here. I was like, this is that fucking stupid cat lady.
And then a cat came in and was like, can I piss in here?
There he is.
There it is.
Like I have a pickup for Felix, and cat's like, meow,
Is Felix a cat name?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, Felix the Cat. It's an old cartoon.
Yeah.
Oh.
My dog has been doing this new thing.
I have a pickup for Garfield. Keep going.
My dog's been doing this new thing where she just rubs her pussy on anything she can. It's insane.
Drew Illa's
I thought you were about to
calling me.
say awesome.
No, no, dude. She's doing this fucking. Is Drew calling right
Drew
now?
Illa's calling me.
Should we answer on the pod? Answer on the pod. Let him know.
Hey, Drew, what's up?
That's how I start the conversation.
Yeah, you're on the podcast, by the way, but keep talking. What do you want?
Oh, am I really?
Yeah, don't say anything dumb.
This is our black friend, Drew.
Okay. All right. Well, there was something I wanted to say that wasn't dumb, but it was kind of businessy. But you can hear it here. Since you all
Let us hear the business.
You know?
Come on.
So let's hear the business. All right. So they wanna get y'all the like a later month where we can get you all together.
Okay.
You know, they don't wanna. They feel like it's they don't want to force it.
They don't want to disband the tour.
They don't want to disband the tour. They feel like, and they don't know these two niggas from San Diego. And on top of that, guys on the show.
Yeah,
And
I got you.
girls
Okay.
and homosexuals. It's a little.
All right. Yeah. All right. All right.
All right. So, can I say hi to my mom and shit?
Yeah. Say hi to your mom.
Hi, mommy. It's Drew, your son, Andrew Vilme. I'm known as Drew Illa on the street, but Andrew Vilme. Mommy, hi, daddy.
Hello.
Getting that milk. Hi, family. I love everybody in my family.
All right. You've had it. This
Yep,
is
that's
this
too
is
much,
The,
too much.
the end of your ride. Okay. I love you, Drew. Okay. We'll talk. Bye.
Bye.
I thought that would be better content, honestly.
Yeah, usually Drew's
Well,
funny.
we got
Drew's
our.
funny. I also don't know if the mic picked up any of
Yeah,
that.
hopefully it did, because
So-
if it did, we had our first N-word on here.
Did he say the N-word?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he did.
He said, I don't know those two guys from San Diego, but he
Oh,
didn't say
So
guys.
yeah.
those two ends from San Diego.
Yes.
And then about 10 seconds later said a bunch of homosexuals.
He said something. Yeah, he said something about homosexuals. I didn't.
And then he
hear
pulled it
Yeah.
away.
Speaking of homosexuals, dude, you guys watching this Jeffrey Dahmer bullshit?
Dude, yes.
Everybody,
dude.
it's a really good show.
It actually is. I've watched the
Everybody's freaking out about it. They're all like,
They are.
"This is re-triggering the trauma of the families who have been through it." And it's like, no offense, but if you're one of the people who was involved, don't watch it.
Yeah. yeah.
That's insane to do.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, dude. I didn't
Also,
realize he
this
was
isn't
gay.
the first piece of content about Jeffrey Dahmer.
No.
Like there's been not Zach.
No, that was
The
Ted
one
Bundy.
guy
Ted
there's a
Bundy.
yeah.
No, this is the first biopic I think of it that I'm aware of. But there's many
There's a movie that I've
interviews and
seen.
documentaries,
True
and they're
crimes
releasing
and-
another thing of tapes of him and
And
stuff.
also, if you're complaining about the movie, the guy murdered people. Don't complain about the fucking documentary about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're picking the wrong thing to be upset about.
What's crazy about it is he couldn't do that today.
No, you
his
can't-
whole
No.
his whole thing was rooted in homophobia.
Yeah, dude. It's
It's dude,
so
the cops
funny.
no, it
wouldn't
wasn't
investigate.
homophobia.
he used
The
yeah,
if it were
Yes.
today, because back then the cops were he got the cops called on him. Dudes escaped and were like, he's trying to kill me. And then when the cops were like, what's happening? And some gay guy's like, I was gonna fuck this guy, and then the cops were like, ew.
Yeah,
Ew,
it's so
Wouldn't
funny because
investigate.
when they're investigating his house for when he's about to get caught, they're like, you don't want to go back in there. There's just gay things in there.
Yeah, like they're like,
They're just-
they're like looking at those pictures
He's
and
like,
they're
"That's my
what's
gay
that?
stuff."
And he's like, gay stuff. And they're just like, ugh,
oh yeah, they're
never
like,
mind.
"Ew,
Ew."
dude."
There's like
Yeah.
there's a blood stain on the bed, and they're like, look at these homos in this
Yeah,
picture.
they're
It's
like,
crazy.
He
Oh.
only got away with murder for as long as he did because the cops were just like, this is some gay shit. I'm not getting involved.
I don't want to catch it.
And then it was
Yeah.
easy. It was easier to trap gay dudes back then because it wasn't like today where you could just hook up with a dude. It's easy.
yeah, it's you could be
everybody was closeted. It was difficult to find another man to be
That's not true. That he went to gay clubs.
I know, but
But
that
he's
was
saying
still
you wouldn't want to socially be like, hey, I'm going over to this guy's house tonight to hook up with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Now it's
you
different.
would-
I guess
yeah,
I
like
it's
when I
different.
do it, when I hook up with guys, it's always like I let people know.
You're always 5 minutes early, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I'm always.
Josh
I'm always
is
5
very
minutes early,
punctual.
and then he's 5 minutes late. You know
And you
what I'm
guys let me watch, which is nice, because I'm not gay, but boy, do you guys do
You
some
do
good stuff.
criticize a lot. You're like,
wanna-
these are weak strokes,
sometimes
Jeff.
Sometimes I'm afraid to watch gay scenes in movies because I don't want to feel anything. What does that make me?
You know what's very funny is like I'll
Being
see
serious.
I'll see like in Game of Thrones, there's like the scene of like the two dudes like butt fucking. That doesn't bother me at all. But in Ozark, when like the two, like the fisherman guy and like the FBI guy make out, I was like, oh,
I don't.
That's just two gross people.
I just don't love.
Yeah.
I don't personally love watching anybody make out. Like even a girl and a guy making out. To me,
What about
I
a
don't
girl and a
like
girl?
Yeah, that's fine. Now that I'm thinking about it, I was just thinking about it, and I was like, I don't like watching a girl and a guy make out. Girl and girl is fine, but two guys definitely not.
What
It's
about-
just a sliding scale of me not being gay?
What about
the spectrum.
two red bones kissing in the back seat?
What song is that from?
Two red bones kissing in the back seat. No, don't stop. Keep going. That relax me. I like girls who like girls that attract me. That's Boosie, baby. Who also has a really good take about the Dahmer.
Let
Now
me
that
tell
we're
you
gone.
what. I bet you Boosie's more upset with Dahmer being gay than he is about
He
the
also
murders.
killed a lot of black dudes, so that Boosie's
did,
not like
yeah.
super into that.
No.
But if there's something in the media that has anything to do with LGBTQ issues,
Boosie has
You-
something to say.
Boosie's gonna come in with a real
dick
good
off
take. Boosie's about to come in and hit him with the "Don't cut his
Dude,
dick off."
It's crazy how publicly homophobic rappers are allowed to be and
It's
still
crazy.
have thriving careers.
Well, the baby's latest album flopped. Did you see that? It only sold 16K, which is like it was projected a lot more.
Yeah, but that was
To-
just the world waking up to DaBaby not being
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
good.
be
I just-
fair,
yeah, but-
DaBaby
yeah.
is bad.
Of
I
course.
hate his rap. I bet you his first album sounded exactly like the
same-
second album.
yeah.
He does zero extra flows.
Just got some gay stuff in the back there. You don't want to
That
touch it.
that shit is fucking hilarious. That he did get canceled for just walking on stage and being like,
AIDS is gay.
"Hey, all y'all AIDS having motherfuckers better not be sucking dick in the parking lot." Anyways, I'm going baby on baby. Like, what are you doing? Why would you stop a show to do that? Like, you should get canceled.
he
for
might
that.
be a serial killer. He might. He might be
what if
trying
the baby
to,
is Dahmer?
Yeah,
He's
dude,
going
and
Dahmer on Dahmer.
I'm going Dahmer on Dahmer.
Dude,
the
that
Dahmer.
to
Dahmer.
Dahmer. It is very funny that like you should be canceled, not like obviously for homophobia, but also just because you thought it was a good idea to be like, stop the show. Fuck people with AIDS. I hate gay people. Anyways, let's go. It's like,
Yeah.
why?
What are you doing, dude?
What'd
Yeah,
you
that's
do that for?
crazy.
It was so uncalled for.
You know what I think is the funniest thing about Jeffrey Dahmer thing is it's a combination of Sling Blade, where he's like, much French fried taters. It's that with the Midwest thing where he's like, oh, don't you know?
Yeah.
But then he's also using the fact that he's gay in a very funny way because he's like,
killing people.
he's killing people. He's like, you don't want to go in there. It's gay
Yeah.
in there. it's gay in
it's-
there.
I love that his personality nails the whole thing of like, I'm gay. Where I'm from, people wouldn't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So he still has
And
all
he's
the
a little
vernacular
slow.
of being like, yeah, he's also fucking stupid. Like he got all the vernacular of like the homophobic people he was
Yeah,
raised
yeah.
around, but he's still doing all of it.
Don't touch
He
that
is
little
like,
queer thing in
"No,
there.
it's just some gay stuff. You don't want that.
You don't want
Yeah.
you don't want to ponder in there. It's gay. It's gay in there.
Do you know Sling Blade is the first recorded use of the word loud to mean a big stench?
I don't know what Sling Blade is.
The movie with Burt Reynolds.
It's not Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It's Burt Kreischer.
It's Burt Kreischer. It's
Yeah.
the machine.
It's the machine.
It's Burt Reynolds.
No,
when
it's
he's,
it's Bad Santa, whatever his name
yeah,
is.
it's Burt Reynolds.
No,
No,
that's
it's not
not
Burt
Burt
Reynolds. Oh, what am I thinking? That's what I'm picturing in my
That's,
head. Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob
Thornton.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Bop. Yeah, it's Billy Bob Thornton. I was picturing
Yeah.
him, but I was saying
But
the
that's
wrong
the
name.
first use of because the little kid. Because if you remember that movie, it's Billy Bob who's like a grown like retarded man, and then a little kid.
Is
and
he?
The,
Yeah.
yeah. And the little kid is like, the little kid complains about a smell, and the Sling Blade's like, quite loud.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude. So how
Wait,
about that?
So wait,
little
Billy
culture
Bob
for the white
is
guys.
Sling Blade?
Yeah,
He's
he
a
kills it.
mentally
He kills
challenged murderer.
Yeah, he kills people. Yeah. Well, one person.
He's not a murderer. It's actually a sweet movie.
Yeah, he actually. There's a reason he kills the guy.
It's a sweet movie. Sling Blade rocks. It's
okay,
a good movie.
I'll add it to my list. That list doesn't
Mm-hmm.
actually exist, but like if I ever stroll across it, I'll be like,
I
"That's
didn't
that
know
movie."
that
I don't like movies that have mentally challenged people, and it makes me really sad.
I haven't-
Radio ruined me for like 3 months.
Yeah, dude, that movie
I had
was.
to send my friend Nick home. We watched it, and I had to be like, "You have to leave." I'm crying.
Oh, I
I
thought
was
you were-
bawling, crying.
Dude,
it was
I
awful.
I thought of something the other day where, I mean, I don't know how to do this. I'll probably do it in a bit, but where it's when you give your vows at your wedding, your vows are very like personal things. Like, I've always loved you. I knew you were the one, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
But
I would hope.
Your groomsmen are all like your boys. So I just had this like anxiety all day of like, I have to give my vows. Fuck, my boys are gonna see me be a pussy.
You're like, I've loved you since the day we met, and everyone's like, gay. What do you-
I had a bit. I don't do it. I did it one time and it didn't work perfectly, so I immediately abandoned it. But like I was like, I was like it's basically like being in a like committed relationship, even if it's a heterosexual relationship, will make you say gay things. Like I remember one time I was having a conversation and I was like, I will always honor and cherish the way you feel, and I was like, that's the gayest thing I've ever typed out in my
dude.
life.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We
It's like that in front of it, dude. If you guys caught me saying that to somebody, I would be so embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Or like
that's what vows are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vows are just like,
the longest, most
Do you wanna
important
get
version
married?
of that.
do you want to get married? You're gonna have to say the gayest shit possible in front of all your boys.
Yeah, that's the price you get to legally own a woman. To do the least gay
Ooh,
thing you
that's
can
a good
do.
point.
Yeah.
It's your
So
punishment.
the upside is great because
Yeah,
now
you
you
legally
have, I
own her.
mean, I see what your woman does. She had fucking dinner ready the other night.
Better be ready when I get home.
Ooh,
I'm kidding.
you hear that?
Lasagna again.
I can't talk like that. I'm unemployed.
I'm actually.
I'm no
Yeah, you
longer the
just lost
breadwinner. I'll cook dinner, babe. No worries.
I'm actually in a housewife situation myself. I've been cooking a lot.
Mm.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, you
I've been
got-
here
If she-
all day.
I made pico de gallo.
If she eats and then immediately goes to sleep, are you like, I slaved all day for this meal and I just wanted to like maybe snuggle and talk for a minute, but you
No.
just went straight to bed?
I'm like, great, back to watching Netflix. And I just sit back on the couch and eat ice pops.
Yeah, the one thing that I think would crush a woman's soul is just how much we like it when they're not around. When I can be in the house by myself without them, oh, it's the best.
Bro, I was here for like 4 days alone. And the first night I was like, nice. And then I was like, ooh. And then I started getting scared.
Yeah.
I told you
dude.
guys about when I came home from the show and the door was wide open.
No.
Mm.
I didn't hear
Ooh.
about this.
I came
Dahmer.
home from Dania when I was hosting however many weekends ago. I came home. It's like 3 a.m. I get home. The front door is wide open, all the way open to the other side of the house, and I'm immediately like, all right, well, somebody broke in and stole all of our shit. That's what I get for not locking the door. And then I'm like frightened, so I like creep up. I'm looking around. I can see that there's things over here that somebody would have stolen. So then I peek in that room. There's like 2 TVs in there. Basically, if you want to steal from me, we got a lot of good shit in here. And the
Yeah.
door is never locked.
The address is
no, hey. And I walk
5.
in. No, don't do it. Don't do it. I walk in. I grab a pot out of the room, like a.
Yeah, what you got your weapon for sure. I get it, dude. I get it. Yeah.
There's a box of shit I haven't unpacked, and that was the closest thing there. So I grabbed like.
Such a Mickey Mouse move.
Yeah, I really did.
Doing.
So I'm looking around. I'm wandering. All the lights are on.
If you caught a burglar, you'd bonk him on the head and
he'd
he'd get like
shorter.
birds.
Yeah, the birds and his lump would grow all the way up.
his teeth would pop out like that. Like piano keys.
And he'd just walk back out of your house going,
Yeah, he'd slinky his way out, and then a piano would fall.
So I then grab an anvil. No, I have the pot. I'm walking around. I mean, you can see it's not very big. So I like look back there. There's nobody there. I look in my room. I look in the bathroom. The only room left is this room. And I'm pretty positive at this point nobody's
Nobody-
here.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
hear anything. Nothing is missing. Unless somebody literally just got in here. And then so I go to open that door. And I open it pretty hard. And it doesn't. There's no lock. It opens a little bit and then like shuts on me. And dude, I get goosebumps. I'm like, I'm calling 911. I'm freaking out. Well, first thing I said was, oh, what the fuck, dude? And then I was like, I'm calling 911. I then back up in there because I'm like, well, if this guy's gonna run out, or girl. It could have been a woman. And let's be real. I'd have been able to kick.
Or
through
if
that
they were
bitch
gonna
on
run
the
out?
other side of the door. If they were gonna run out, yeah, thanks.
If they were gonna run out, I'll just choke them.
Yeah. So I'm like freaking out.
You say that, but there is a woman that robbed a place around here that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
Oh
yeah. But you could have fucked her up, to be
Yeah,
fair.
I could have fucking destroyed her. Anyways, so I'm like, I don't hear anything. Surely what it felt like was like I tried to open the door and somebody leaned up against it. So I walk back over there. I'm like freaking out. I have my phone in my hand that has 911 dialed, and I have the pot in the other hand, or the like skillet in the other hand. And then I'm like, okay, I got to open this door. And then I'm like, well, which one of these do I sit down to open the door? Because I can't give up my weapon, but I also want to be able to dial 911. So I like creep down to the turn the handle, and then I just give it a good like boom, and it opens. And what happened is he has a coat rack on the back of his door. And so, but what happened is like it jammed the top. So when I opened it, like the bottom half of the door opened.
Yeah.
And then it slammed shut because the top half was stuck.
Right.
And I didn't fall asleep till like 6 a.m. I was so full of adrenaline, being pretty sure that I was going to have to fight somebody in my home.
We used to, I had something crazy happen when I was in Denver. We used to live next to, I might have told the story on here, but I don't remember. Section 8 housing, and there was a man that was
Whatever, dude. Rogan does it.
And yeah, we're the same.
Joey does it.
JR does it. And so I used to live next to Section 8 housing, and there was a mentally unstable man who had multiple times broken in to our apartment complex, because the apartment complex he lived in was right next to us, but it looked the same. So like you could see how a confused man in a state of, anxiety or whatever would mistake it. Well, I'm asleep in the nude, and it was like 3 a.m. and I heard people.
Do you always sleep in the nude?
No, I had just gotten puss. And so I was feeling a little good. And I was asleep. Yeah, and so, from the yeah. And
you scared him off with the smell from your dick?
Yeah, I was like, well, white women's pussy tastes like so,
like water.
Pussy tight, pussy clean, pussy fresh.
I wake up and I'm going to take a pee, and it was like going to be a ravenous pee. Like it was like I just had sex. I didn't pee after sex because I went straight to bed.
One of those spine tinglers.
One of those when you're like, oh,
it's going 3 different ways.
And I'm walking to my bathroom, and I can hear voices in my kitchen, and I'm like, oh my god, like my first thought is this man who is mentally unwell has broken into our house. And I was like, holy shit. And I hear a conversation, and I'm like, there's 2 of them. And we used to keep a hammer.
The crazy man has made a friend and brought him to my house.
Yeah, well, that's the scariest outcome.
Or it's one guy doing 2 voices.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Fuck, that actually kind of scares me.
Yeah, it's even scarier. And yeah, dude, he's like making lasagna, and so I'm very. He's just in my. That'd be funny. I walk in, he's just making lasagna, and so I'm butt naked, and I'm like, oh my god, I have to piss so bad, and I'm like in this moral, and I run back into my bedroom, and we used to have a hammer underneath our bed, and I was like, babe, give me the hammer. And it's on her side of the bed, and I don't know why. And so I'm like waking her up, and she's so out of it that she like doesn't. She's like half asleep, still awake, and she what the fuck? And she is like half asleep, half awake. Goes to hand me the hammer, but reaches underneath the bed and comes up with just her stuffed animal. And I was like, what the fuck? And
what
at this
it was
point,
just her dildo.
Yeah. I'm like, nice.
She's just like, this will work better.
Yeah,
You're like, why is it black?
And
okay.
They start going down.
This is the most dangerous one.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, too much time has passed. He knows that I'm awake. He's heard movement. Like, they know that I'm here. I have to just bull rush him. And so I sprint out there, butt naked, just ready to fight to my death. Like, I was like, I was all riled up. And my laptop was on, and like we had like a power surge or something, and it started my laptop up and started randomly shuffling cooking videos on YouTube, full volume. And so I thought I thought was
fucking destroyed your laptop.
Yeah, so what I thought,
beat
the shit.
PTSD.
So what I thought was going to happen was I thought I was rounding the corner to 2 men who were in my house kitchen talking about literally talking about the things that we had, because I could hear the conversation, and I rounded it, and my laptop was just open playing a
That's
cooking
hilarious
video.
that like you heard a cooking video of like, and now for this portion you're gonna need a spatula and a non-stick pan, and you're like, these motherfuckers are taking my new pan.
What
the fuck?
I legitimately thought that the person was mentally, I thought they were just, I was gonna be
right.
And I don't
Dang,
even. By the
dude.
way, I don't know how I would have handled that situation had
Yeah.
it not been a violent scenario.
Because
I would've been like,
exactly. Because that's the thing. Like you were ready to like if you had seen him, what would you have just bashed his fucking?
I don't know.
skull
I
in?
mean, probably.
Is that the way you handle that?
I mean, I feel like I would have just instinctually, because I would have been afraid. I would have just been like, "Oh my god, it's actually real." Then I just charge, because I feel like that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
But that's not how I think you should do it. You know.
No, I don't think you should. But yeah.
But if
that
there's a
is-
robber, I
You
would
should confront them and say, "What in life brought you to this point?
I'm
Why
like,
are you
I'm just
robbing
butt
me?"
naked. Like, what do you think you're doing here?
Also, adrenaline dick is the smallest dick
Yeah,
that
dude.
you get out.
Oh,
so
it
you
goes
just
in.
you just fight a guy with like
It's the
literally
smallest-
negative 1 inch of dick.
He's leaving. I'm like, sorry, it's normally.
The cops are there, and you're like, it's usually they're like, you could just put. It took us 30 minutes to get here. You could have put pants on. You're like, honestly, I'm just so freaked out right now. I feel like I need to kind of be free, if that's okay. And they're
There's
like, yeah,
DNA
it's fine. You're like,
evidence.
it is usually bigger though. I mean, the amount of red hair is taking away from it. I wish I had just shaved for this, but
As a matter of fact, can I go, dude? Do you guys want some for the evidence
Yeah.
bag? I don't know if you need.
Well, this is what I looked like when I found the intruder, and I felt for evidence continuity, I should just stay this way until you get here. So you know what he saw, which is a very scared ginger man with a tiny,
just a micro
anxious
PP.
penis.
when you guys make a true crime documentary about this, will you put that I had pants on so that I don't have to,
You don't have to show.
just
you know,
David Attenborough, like
that would.
and then he charged the intruder with the smallest penis imaginable.
It would be funny to be. It would be funny to be cast as the actor, like small dick actor. You're like, what the fuck, dude? I've thought about that before. Like, if you're an actor and you get a role for like a Valtrex commercial, like,
Yeah.
your face screams herpes. you really.
Yeah,
look
dude,
like
that
you-
is a weird thing about because I know people who have been like they want to do. They're trying to get into acting,
Yeah,
like in
and
LA
they-
or whatever, and a lot of the beginning is commercial shit.
Yeah.
and it's like, dude, you might get, or I think about it like
a
when
diarrhea ad.
You might, or you might get. Like, you might be modeling, and they might be like, you're perfect for this. And then you might be the new face of adult diapers.
Yeah,
Like,
and it's like
there's a guy, I was in CVS the other day. There's a guy it's a full body shot of a man in adult diapers.
Yeah.
And that guy got paid for that, and he was probably happy to get that job.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, he
Yeah.
was probably happy, but then he was like, damn, this $20,000 isn't worth it because every time I fucking go into a Walmart.
Dude, if you want to give me $20,000 to wear an adult diaper, I'll do that at the fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah, but
I
they
don't
only
give
do
a
that. They
fuck.
only get that one time, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how it works, but I
Yeah,
can't
I don't
imagine
know
it's not. I
either.
can't imagine it's like they get those types of gigs.
Yeah,
and
you
then
don't turn into like Flo from
Yeah.
Progressive.
Talk
It's
about
like
a
you
come
do-
up for that girl.
Oh,
With that,
yeah, dude.
for Flo and for the big titted girl who's in the AT&T commercials.
So fine.
So fine. Her
Jesus.
tits are fun. They really hide those things in those commercials because
Yeah, they do
god
a-
damn are they
She's
big.
let
got
those puppies
she's got a
breathe. Holy
billowing
shit.
button down.
Yes.
And
Kids
there-
are an ass guy.
she has a new commercial.
I'm ass for sure.
I'm an ass guy,
Yes,
but
I
I
know.
like a pair of tits.
I actually don't
The
mind
new
small
commercial
tits.
for like the iPhone
like
14
'Cause I'm gay.
is like her with LeBron, and I know it's a joke when she's like, "You better not be coming for my job," and he's like, "Maybe," and I'm like, "Don't, please do not have LeBron. I need her. I love her.
Yeah, she's so
I love
hot.
her so much."
Yeah. It's weird
Do
though,
not let LeBron
because
James
that was
take
just
this from
like
me.
for her and
She used to
Flo,
be in
I-
College Humor sketches.
I want to say I was about
from
to say I think
AT&T.
she's a comedian or was or in
She's
some,
like a
comedy actor.
comic actor. Yeah,
but
she
like
is.
imagine that you get a commercial gig and you're like, oh great, and then like I mean think about how long Flo's been doing
Dude,
it.
Flo was at UCB with like Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Will
Mhm.
Ferrell, and they went on to be like huge. And she's like,
But-
"I'm Flo."
But guess who's probably more recognizable statistically to the United States?
Will
Flo.
Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
No, I was talking about Tina. You said Tina Fey and Amy Poehler.
I think both of those people.
Both
are
of those
very
people. Dude, they've
recognizable.
hosted like the Oscars.
You think they're more recognizable than Flo?
Yeah.
I bet not. I bet not.
Tina Fey and dude, I guess maybe
Because
maybe
you,
now.
Because think
I
about
don't
this.
know,
Think
because
about this. I'm
they
not
used to
saying
have the
that
number one shows.
I think Tina Fey and Amy Poehler way more. I mean, 30 Rock is fucking amazing. They're on SNL, which is one of the most
top 10,
marketable things.
Top 10 all time. 30 Rock.
But think 30 Rock is
So
brilliant.
good. It's
But
so
think
good.
about this. You have to be a specific, while it's a broad specific demographic, you have to be a specific demographic to see Amy Poehler or Tina Fey. All you have to do is be a fucking idiot with cable to know who Flo is.
Yeah,
I
but not
still
every-
think- I still think
Flo's
that-
commercials are on every fucking channel. You could be somebody
But do you
who-
know her name? That's a bigger thing
I'm
too.
saying I
do you
just
know what
said
I'm
more
saying?
recognizable face. I'm not saying.
But it's
that-
also
I
like,
don't
do
know
you
what
want to
Flo's
be known
fucking
as?
name
Do you
is.
want to be known as Flo, or do you want to be known as the actress you are?
Well, that's not my argument.
Or
I would much
actor.
rather be Tina Fey than Flo.
Right.
Tina Fey is like an
Well, I guess
esteemed
the whole
writer
thing is
and actress and
the
comedian.
Whole, it kind of it all encompasses itself, in my opinion, because it's like I don't want to be known as like the whole thing. It's like the diaper guy. He's probably stoked to get the job, but he doesn't want to be known as the diaper guy.
Yeah,
he
but
wants to be,
that's to. I agree with you. That's not the argument I make.
Tina Fey for a long time was my answer to women when they asked me who my celebrity crush was.
Really?
Yeah.
I do have kind
Which
of an odd
it
crush
wasn't
on her.
true. Like obviously I think she's a pretty lady and I think she's hilarious.
It's a very feminist answer.
but it's a feminist answer.
Because you're like, listen,
I like
I'm
her for
well
her
aware
sense
that
of humor.
she's not, but I love an empowered woman who's really made her own way
Yeah.
in a male-dominated field.
Mhm.
And they're
Jenna
like,
Fisher
"That's so
from The
great."
Office.
Jenna Fisher's
From The
pretty
Office,
hot.
that era. Was,
Amy Adams. Ooh, and I went to rehab with her brother.
in reality, Doja Cat.
I don't
whatever.
see
I think
that.
she's attractive.
I don't think she's unattractive by any means. It's just not where I'm like, yeah, Doja Cat. It's
Oof.
not my thing.
That's my baby.
Male one now. Go.
We've done this.
I
Dwayne
know.
Wade.
Ryan Gosling.
We've
Dwayne
done this.
Wade.
We
Yeah,
know
I
you're
know.
gay. He just wanted to tell everybody.
Ryan
again.
Gosling in The Place Beyond the Pines when he's got
Stop
tattoos. He's such a
talking
bad
about
boy.
The fucking Place Beyond
He's
the
such a
Pines.
bad boy. I've said
First
it
off, we
twice.
haven't seen that. You've said it way more than
No,
that.
I haven't. Pull it up. Clip it.
Let's watch all fucking
But yeah,
30
go there.
episodes.
run through 94 hours of the podcast.
I would guarantee. I would bet my money that you've said it more than once, but that's or more than twice before this, or twice before now.
I used
which
to
is
watch
3
D
times.
Wade 3 times a week on
Mm.
Sun Sports.
You seen him live?
Oh yeah, that man can.
I haven't seen
move.
Ryan.
He can glide.
You know who else I have this is a little bit more niche. If anybody listens to Moose Blood, a pop punk band from the UK that got canceled and got kind
Why'd
of
they
disbanded.
get canceled?
This is actually I don't know the whole full story, but supposedly, so they had a drummer who was messaging like underage women. They kicked him out because that's bad.
Great.
Objectively bad.
Yes.
So then they went on tour.
Don't do that.
It's
It is
objectively bad.
He's
And then-
joking. It's for the bit.
and so then they went on tour, and with a new drummer, and everything was going well. They released another album. Everything went great. But then they were on tour, and they were set to open up for Good Charlotte. And like 2 weeks before they were going to go on Good Charlotte's like big run, they I guess the lead singer, who was married, I think this is why it was a big deal, got in trouble because apparently in his WhatsApp with the band, the owner of the house that they were staying with like some fan, sent him nudes, and then he supposedly like sent it to the band, and that literally got them kicked off a tour, lost a record deal, and now they don't
So
make music
he
anymore.
like forwarded
Nudes
somebody
that-
else's nudes.
Yes, and that was the
Yeah,
biggest
can't
thing.
do that.
You can't do that, but I also don't think it should be a reason that. Like I feel like
How
it's a bit
long
of an
ago
old.
was
This was
this?
in the height of everything. This was like 2017.
See, that's
Yeah.
why.
That was 'cause it's like
'Cause
you-
now or before that,
Yeah.
it wouldn't have been. That is funny though that their big break was going on tour with Good Charlotte in
Charlotte.
2017.
Yeah, no, it was definitely
Maybe
not
their band wasn't supposed to.
Dude,
make it,
I'm
you
getting
know?
They
back-
got good music.
I'm getting back
That's
into
off.
some. Oh no.
That probably just turned off
It
because
did
I've been
I just
checking on
checked.
it.
We're also close to an hour. I don't know if we want to.
I'm getting back
what we
into
wanna
butt
do.
rock.
Butt rock, really?
Yeah, I've been listening to some Skindred.
Yeah, there we go.
You guys know Skindred?
Come on
No.
over.
No.
Yeah, come sit here. Well, you're the only one not in the camera now. Just
I said, welcome to take over. MC, you better look over your shoulder. You know that song?
Oh.
That's not.
Is that from Grand Theft
doesn't
Auto
sound
3?
Like butt
It's
rock.
from Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2.
I know it from.
Or it's
yeah,
from
that's-
Underground 2. It's from one of
Scoot a
them.
little bit more.
I know that from like an old video game.
Yeah, it's from
That's
Need for
wild.
Speed.
Yeah. Okay.
That shit where it's like ba 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 ba. I've
You
been
know
getting
why
some
they
butt
call it
rock
butt rock?
because it's bad.
No. So it's somebody just explained this to me recently. So the reason is because you're not in the shot like hardly at all. You scooted your chair and it didn't help anything. So the reason that they call it butt rock is because in that time period of all that rock that like Nickelback kind of like that kind of shit like is they would have all these stations and like everything was always like wild 93.9 anything but wait butt rock anything but rock or everything but rock. Wait, where did it come from? Fuck, dude.
That was close. That was close to a clip, dude.
But that doesn't make sense.
No,
Wait,
it doesn't.
Wait.
Butt rock.
Everything but rock. Wait. Let's.
Nothing but rock.
Nothing but rock. Okay.
There we go. Redo it. Okay,
Redo
redo the clip. Right?
You guys know why they call it butt rock, right?
No. Why do they call it butt rock?
Okay, so back in the heyday of all that bullshit of like Nickelback and all the like Creed of just being like, can you take me higher? Everything was. What? Why is it called that again?
Dude,
Because they would turn
the video.
tune in and be nothing but rock.
Oh, okay. So,
Just act 3, take 3.
So I'm not gonna start from the top. You can clip all this,
Yeah,
right?
let's go. I'm not going to.
Welcome behind the scenes. This would be a great clip. So they call it butt rock because all the radio stations were. Why can't I remember?
This is stupid. Stop trying to
Everything
aim
they
for
would
a
play,
clip.
everything they would play nothing.
So yeah,
They
it would just be like wild 93.3. Nothing but rock, and
Yeah.
then everybody started calling it butt rock.
You ever?
I hate
That
this
took
shit.
so long.
Dude.
You ever see the Creed video where they did the Marlins song, the Florida Marlins baseball song, where he's like, "Come on, Marlins, make us proud." It's so good. It's like single, double, triple play. It's so sick. It rocks, bro.
That's the worst.
Home run, grand slam. Come on, Marlins, make us proud. It's sick.
I wonder how
dude.
much they got paid to do that.
Nothing but rock.
Dude. Nothing but rock.
They got paid in Marlins tickets.
103.7.
103.7, the
The
Gator.
Fox.
Nothing but rock.
Nothing but rock.
What
Giving
was
you
your?
the latest
Ours
hits
was
from
the Buzz 103.1.
The Buzz, 103.1, nothing but rock.
103.
Here's Photographed by Nickelback.
Look at his photograph.
And the morning,
Dude,
the
low-key,
morning
that
show
Finger
was
mama.
Howard Stern, which rocked.
Yeah, Howard Stern's the shit.
Howard
but-
Stern was so sick.
I
Dude,
love radio.
so
Howard
wait,
Stern's like idea of a bit was
103.7.
just like, all right, I brought in the head of the Ku Klux Klan and I brought in the head of the Black Israelites, and I'm just gonna put them in a room, and they would just like hate each other for a while, and then like he would just interject every once in a while, be like, good point.
Yeah. Or he'd just be like, we brought in an obese woman and 36 glazed donuts. How long can this fat bitch not eat these donuts?
Or they bring in like a really ugly dude and be like, will you make out with him right now for $1,000? That thing is
Yeah.
the craziest. He was just
Dude.
soliciting people.
They had the smallest penis in New York competition.
Yeah, I've seen videos of that.
Me
You
too.
can find it on like
They're
Pornhub and shit.
and they're so small. It's crazy.
dude. When you watch that, you're like, no wonder people shoot up public places.
Yeah.
Could you imagine having a dick like that? That would suck.
Howard,
Are you saying that if you have a micro penis, go for it?
I'm not saying go for it. I'm just saying I understand.
I was gonna say 103.7, everything or nothing but cock, but then the timing was off.
Yeah, you missed it.
Because I missed it.
Oh,
You guys
man.
kept stepping.
It
on
would have
each
been
other.
a heater too.
It would have came in too. I know it would have.
420.69, nothing but cock.
Nothing but cock. That's calm.
That's cum.
You're listening to 84.2 Gay Radio.
Oh no, not there.
Oh no, my dad found out. Gay Radio.
You don't want to go in there. That's them gay stuff's going on in there. Get away with murder.
What was the good
Out of the closet,
Jeffrey
into
Dolezal.
the tunes.
Gay rock.
I like that Jeff has been out of frame for all of this. No, we can clip zero.
I'm just
of this.
fucking.
It's not soft rock. It's soft cock.
Soft cock. No, hard cock would have been the way to go.
Hard
Telling
cock,
your
yeah.
mom how you feel is gonna make her cry. Welcome back to Gay Radio.
Go ahead and call in. We're welcoming all callers. 103.7.
Hi, this is Enrique. I'm calling for gay radio. Me and my friends call it Gadio.
Gadio.
Radio.
Why don't you go ahead and take
Thanks
your
for talking
shirt
to
off?
us, Enrique. Do you have any shout outs you want to give on Gay Radio?
Why don't you take your shirt off, Enrique, and send me a photo? Call me on Instagram at thedog24.
I just wanna know why I didn't win the contest for the butt plug giveaway. I entered 69 times on purpose.
69. What is that? Gay?
Okay.
You're listening to Joshy Twink and Jeffy Dick in the morning.
Jeffy Dick in the morning. Filling up your ass with the greatest hits of
Fuck. Oh fuck, dude. Yeah.
Oh,
all right, we're done.
We really hit a stride here in the closing segment. Filling up your ass with all the greatest hits. Oh, okay. I don't feel like we could follow.
All right, hey, come and see us at the Dania Improv on
October 19th, the Dania Improv, the fucking Dirty Talk Comedy Tour. Also, Oklahoma City, I'm sorry the boys can't come, but I will be there November 18th at Rodeo Cinema.
It's a theater
movie.
gig.
It's a theater, technically. Smaller than the club that we're going to play soon, but it's still a theater. And I think it's a theater because they show movies there. But
It's a movie theater.
It's in Stockyard City. Tickets will be available soon. Tickets are available for Dania right now. Like, subscribe. We love you very much.
Send it to your friends. Keep sending it to your friends. We're getting a lot of traction on this lately, so it's good.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. Keep going. Make it so Jeff doesn't have to get a normal job again. I don't have to get a normal job, and Matt doesn't.
If
either.
I have to fucking work at another marketing agency, episode 30 is me exploding my brains all over these fucking cameras. So get on it, please.
We'll also have that available on the Patreon if you guys want to join that.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be our first Patreon episode for sure. Jeffy Cox in the morning blows his brains out after he blows his load.
I blow his brains out, then he blows his brains out.
Yeah.
Ew, come on, we're gay. All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.